this thing. Hey, Champerific. Jesus. Every time I see you now, get that look in my eye. Every time I see your mouth, I hear that smile. In the early misty morning light, I heard the engine turning in the old Ford outside. You were leaving me again today. You convinced me again today. You're leaving this old town looking for someone else's golden ring. Should have said so long, Susanna. Hush now, don't you cry. So long, Susanna. Don't you cry for me. Sharing jeans and cigarettes and keep them warm out on the road. Pacing down the lifestyle out on Highway 24. New York State was a rolling breeze in the sunshine with a blue sky falling to the chill of old September creeping in. You were leaving me again today. You would convince me again today. You're leaving this whole town looking for someone else's golden ring. Should have said so long, Susanna. Hush now, don't you cry. So long, Susanna. Don't you cry for me. Okay, fantastic, Bob. What's going on there, good people? What is happening? What is happening? What's going on? What is going on, good people of the world? What's happening? Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's get this show on the road. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Everybody's got something to do, right? Everybody's in a hurry. Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's just crazy. Oh. Have you taken a moment to just breathe today? Ah, Lordy, 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 Lordy. All right. I don't ever think I've seen this character before. You never know where they're gonna come from. I think I just channel them from above. Well, actually, I probably just channel them from my childhood and Saturday Night Live, you know? Kelly Camp, aren't you the one that's doing all the shit with Notion and connectors in the Chatgpt? Yes. All right. I logged into Notion today. I had an account. And I just fucking stared at it. Like, what the fuck is this? And then I asked Chatgpt about it. And then it told me some shit. And then it said it could go edit shit. And I set up my connector. And then I tried to get it to go do shit, and it's like, I don't have permission to do that, but here's how you turn on the permissions. And it was a hallucination. That's not how you turn on. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So I just thought, I'm gonna call Kelly Camp, and I know you did. I know you did an LOL on it, so I should just go watch your LOL. but the lazy part of me is like, just call Kelly and she can teach you how to do it. So that was my experience with Notion today. Was just like, this sucks. I hate life. I hate not knowing, which I'm gonna talk about. I'm about to talk about. I call it the ick. You know that feeling? That feeling of like, oh, everyone's talking about Notion. I should probably go check that out. And you're like, I don't know how to use it. And you're like, ick. I don't want to feel not expert at something. That feeling? Yeah. That was one of my big insights today. So today we kicked off the AI Salon Mastermind practice in a thing called the Practice Lab. So the Practice Lab is it's a 10-week series where you design your daily practice using AI. It was a very, very powerful meeting. So if you missed it, the recording is already up and available. Thank you to Andy. TikTok pin. Yeah, it was awful to set up, but then it's amazing. That was like, hearing you talk about it, I'm like, okay, I get why it could be amazing. And then I was just like, it was like, there's these three things: people and places and items, or whatever the fuck it was, right? That's what Chatgpt told me. And then I went over and I looked at its interface, and there's none of those are there. Like, it's just all like, it just looks like yet another fucking note taker with 16 different categories that mean nothing to me. So I got demoralized pretty quick with Notion. Call me. Okay, I will. Listen, I could just watch the video, but I might just lazy out and call you. It's going to be great, the mastermind. Yeah, so listen, here's the deal. If you're not a part of the mastermind, that's cool, your choice. The mastermind so far this year, we kicked off the mastermind in June. And, we were always like, okay, this is going to be a thing. This is going to be where people who are sort of focused on sort of taking their AI to the next level, they're going to hang out in this area. And it was nebulous from June until now. And about a month ago, we were, we've been working on, redesigning the AI salon space, the community. We've been working on engagement, like, why come to the AI salon community? Like, what's there? Like, all that sort of stuff. I'm really thinking a lot about all the different things. And we landed on this idea of creating a daily practice framework called the Mastermind Practice. And today was the kickoff for it. And so we've designed it in such a way, it's this 10-week series. You can join at any time, but the recordings of the previous meetings, if you're a mastermind member, you can go back. So if you missed the meeting today and you're not a part of the mastermind, join the mastermind, because for the next month and a half, it's $20 a month. And if you get it for $20 a month, that's ongoing, and then it's going to go up after that. The link is on screen right there, bit.ly/AI-salon-mastermind. Go there. That's where you can sign up. So you can watch the meeting we had today, and there's the notes are there as well, right? So consolidated version of the notes. Brandon and I were talking before the show started tonight, and there's something, because that meeting, so our mastermind meetings used to just be a hangout. It was actually called the Founder Hangout. We would just sort of hang out and chit chat, and that was fine. It was good, and people would talk about what they were doing. But this is a very different kind of conversation, right? This is a design conversation, and every week out of the 10-week series has a purpose. And so today we started out with taking 2 minutes to just write down on a piece of paper, no AI, what do you want? What do you want to get out of this? What do you want to get out of a daily practice? What does that mean to you? And so we took some time to do that. We talked about the purpose of the mastermind. We talked a little bit about the evolution of the AI salon. Liz then talked about what a practice means to her, how she does it. And then she was given just really good insights about how to think about this idea of a daily practice built around AI. In the middle of her sharing her thing, the building that I was in suddenly had a mandatory fire drill. So I had to leave the building. So I switched to my phone and I jumped in my car until all the craziness was done. That was pretty funny. And then people just talked about, what a practice means to them. And then the next 9 weeks is a different part of the framework. Every week's a different part of the framework. So there's 9 components to the framework. Everyone gets to design their own practice, what that looks like for them. Incredibly powerful stuff. Incredibly powerful stuff. So go join the AI Salon if you haven't, and then join the mastermind. If you want to get involved with this, I would strongly. We had like 20 people there today. It was a really, really nice group of people. A lot of new faces, which was exciting. I would strongly encourage you to join and come to the weekly meetings. Carve out Thursdays at noon Eastern. Thursdays at noon Eastern is the Mastermind Practice Lab. So that's when this group meets, and that's when you design your side hustle. Mimi, yes. One of the things that struck me today, so while I'm facilitating this, Liz and I both talked about this, that, it's her, ultimately her vision. It's, she had this idea, and the minute she said it, I'm like, ooh, that's the right idea. Let's do that. And so while we're facilitating it, what we realized is that we're starting this over as well. Like Liz has been doing this idea of a daily practice for 3 years or so now, incorporating AI. So she's got some practice in it, but she's never done this mastermind, this framework we designed. No one's ever done it before. It's all brand new. And I think one of the fantasies I had about a practice is that it's just like, kumbaya, like, oh yeah, I'm just going to breathe, and then I'm going to be one with the world, and then I'm going to make beautiful AI things, right? And it was all this sort of positive, if I just, have intentionality, then all will be right with the world. And when I was preparing for the kickoff today, yesterday, Andy and Liz and I talked. We were talking about what the kickoff was going to be. And both of them were talking about their, that in their daily practices, a big part of it is being present to the discomfort, whatever the discomfort was. And the minute they started talking about that, I was like, oh no. Oh no, I don't want to be present to the discomfort. I've been hiding from the discomfort. And the discomfort is things like you know how to do something. And now you recognize that AI is changing how that thing gets done. That discomfort of like, but I know how to do it, and I don't know how to do the new thing. Or that discomfort of, I know 3 of the 4 pieces of this thing that I have to do. That 4th piece I don't know at all, so I'm going to feel like a dum-dum. And it's like, ick. So what struck me today is that one of my goals for the mastermind is to embrace the ick, to just feel imperfect, to feel clueless, and then take action anyway, right? Like that, the definition of fear, right? It's taking action in the face of fear. Well, I think one of the ways to take action is just to be with the fear, to be with feeling less than, to be with things are changing, the fear, whatever it might be. TikTok. I live in a constant state of discomfort with AI, but it always pays off in the end. Yeah. One of the other things that struck me today was there was a calmness. Part of that's Liz. Part of how Liz shows up is she's a she's a very centered, intelligent, insightful human being. And so she brings a calmness. And as we were thinking about this daily practice, if the focus is not on, oh, how do I learn the tools? What's going on with X? What's it? How do I do? Wait, are we gonna get Gemini 3.0? What about Nano Banana 2? Like all of that fucking chaos and freneticism that, quite frankly, I built this channel on. Right? I got excited. I'm like, oh, look at the cool tools. Look at the cool tools. They're so cool. You should come hang out with me. We'll talk about all the tools. They're going to be so cool. I'll show you everything. Right? And I was good at it. And I got off on it. It was like, yes, we're going to learn them all. We're going to learn them all together. And then we were like sort of ankle deep on the beach, right? And the little waves were sort of lapping up to our ankles. We're like, this is awesome. And then all of a sudden, in came a big wave, and like whack. You're like, oh shit, there's too much to deal with here. But that feeling, that energy of that chaos in a daily practice, you can let the tools drift to the background. So all that chaos that's up here, you just let it drift to the background, and then you can just be with who you are, what you believe in, what are your values, what are your intentions, right? And so as we were talking about that today, like I can actually feel like a calmness come over me. Like for me, the anxiety happens like right in my chest. And then if it's like panicky kind of anxiety, that lowers to just below my solar plexus, and it's like, ew, that feels awful, right? But that I could feel like the tension right here. I could feel it just go and just open up and just be. I just felt a calmness come over me. And so part of the daily practice is being in the presence of the chaos, but letting that drift to the background and just recentering yourself. And recentering yourself with, what do I want? I was in a different meeting today, and Townsend Wardlaw, who's the leader of this founders group that I'm a part of, he talked about, what are your 3 words? What's your North Star? If you could only choose 3 words that are really your North Star for your life, what are those 3 words? And so it's amazing that I had that meeting where I was asked, what is your North Star, followed by the kickoff of a brand new thing we created for AI Salon Mastermind members called the Mastermind Practice, that essentially asks the same question, right? It's not quite your North Star, but it's like, what do you want? What are you trying to achieve? And so those 3 words for me, one of them was inspiration. One of them was being present. And then one of them was connection. So inspire, be present, and connect. And I feel like I've got some decent integrity around
I think I've got an integrity around inspire. I think I'm okay at the connect part, but but there's some opportunity there. And the be present part, that's the one that's the bitch. That's the one that's a bitch. It's struck me over the past month or so because I've been thinking a lot about what is a practice and what is this and what is that and what do I want and why am I doing what I'm doing? And one of the insights that I've had recently is that one of my there's a thing I did ages ago. I did this thing called the Landmark Forum. I don't know if you know it, but you've got a winning formula is a way that you act in your life that is how you achieve success. But ultimately, you achieve success because you know you're not that thing, right? So in my case, like one of them was just I know I'm not creative, so I'm overly creative. Like you overcompensate for the thing you know you're not. And the ironic thing is that the more you succeed in your winning formula, the more it reminds you what you're not, right? So this is why so many rich people are miserable, right? Because they're chasing this thing that all it does is remind them of their worthlessness, right? You know, the more money they make, the more miserable they get. So it's an interesting thing. But what I realized is one of my winning formulas is I love to create things, right? I love to create. I love to solve problems. I love to invent. I love to open loops. um, and but when I create them from this adrenaline fueled fervor. I'm gonna invent this thing. Like the bigger it is, the harder it is. Like that adrenaline can last for a month or 2 months or 3 months. Like it can last for a while for me. And I build it and I build it and I build it, and then the minute it gets to some level of stability, it's almost like it's like I disassociate from it. And so the result of that is, and I kind of hide behind it. So I'll give you a good example. I make these videos. I do these shows. I do these live streams. I have never once gone back and looked at one of them. I almost do it like it wasn't me that did it. Right? I set it up. I committed to doing it 7 nights a week. Once I did a year of that, I dropped it to 5 nights a week. With some minor exceptions, I've been doing it 5 nights a week for, a yearish now. And my relationship with it is I'm not super present in the moment. I'm doing my thing, right? So I'm not necessarily present to what I'm doing. And then the minute it's done, it's like it's gone, it's done. I disassociate from it. And we've got Lord Digital Gods, bless his heart, every fucking night takes these videos and he creates a YouTube thumbnail for them, and he creates descriptions for them, and he creates chapters for them. And so, like what I've become aware of is how not present I am to the things I fucking created. To the things I create. I create them and then remove myself from them surgically. Because when I'm in the adrenaline fueled creation process, I'm not present. I'm just high. I'm high on, we're going to do the thing, and we're going to do the thing. Come on, people. Come on. You make the costumes. I've got the barn. Let's put on a show. Right? You don't have to be present for that. You just need to keep feeding yourself and go. And then the minute it's up, the minute it's a thing, I disappear from it. So I'm not present when I'm creating it. And then I treat it like this thing that is outside of me that I don't have to take responsibility for in any way because I'm not a part of it. And so for me, my daily practice, I think the one that's going to be the hardest for me is to be present to what I'm creating. And it's like, even as I'm saying it right now, I'm like, I feel like that fucking anxiety coming on. Like, holy shit. Like, imagine if I did this and then Lord Digital Gods puts together the video with the chapters and things like that, and I go click on some of the chapters and like look at what I did. Go, oh, that was interesting. Huh. Probably shouldn't do that again. Like, have never done that. I'm not present to what I'm creating. Which is fucking insanity. I'm creating it. You people show up for it. You're amazing. I'm not here. Or at least I'm not taking in the good, the bad, the ugly, none of it. It's just like this neutral thing. Oh yeah, that was the thing I did. It's really easy to dismiss it that way. Oh yeah, I started the AI salon. It's that community. Yeah, it's that thing over there. Oh yeah, Storyvine. That was the thing. That's a 13-and-a-half-year-old company that I am the inventor of the like. No, I'm just not present. So one of the things is be present to the ick, be present to those things that I'm avoiding, because I don't want to confront that feeling of I don't know how to do something, or what if I don't do good enough work? What if I'm judged, right? That feeling. So I avoid stuff. Being present to what I create is essentially the same thing, right? Because there's an ick there. If I have to actually be present for what I create, then I should look at it. And part of it's going to be awesome. Part of it I'm going to look at and go, whew, that was awesome. And then part of it I'm going to look at and go, oh my God, that's fucking embarrassing. Right? And I'm not talking about the pink bow. I'm very proud of the pink bow. But this is what a daily practice is about. A daily practice is about intentionally choosing what you want to do. Intentionally choosing to be present to it. Intentionally choosing to show up every day and do something. Do something, right? Part of this becomes a habit. I think the habit thing I'm pretty good at, right? The habit thing is showing up. Show up. Show up. Show up. But there's a massive difference between a habit and a practice. A practice has a reason for being. A practice is rooted in my values. And in order for the practice to be rooted in my values, I have to understand my values. When was the last time you asked yourself, what do I stand for? Right? What's a non-negotiable for me? As a human, and as a creator, and as a builder, and as a worker, and as a companion. Right? So having a daily practice, in some sense, no, in a very real sense, has nothing to do with AI. AI, when you do it right, part of the practice is exploring these AI tools and understanding what they make possible. But then let them drift to the background. You just know how to use them. And then it all becomes about, what do I want? What do I want to do today? I've got a workshop that I've got to develop for this book that I'm writing. I've got the book to write, right? I've got a book proposal out right now. They're out trying to sell this book. We've got some interest. At some point, some publisher, hopefully, fingers crossed, is going to say, yeah, we want that book. Then I've got a book to write. There's a bunch of ick in that. I will admit that I have had a time in my life where I got a very prestigious publisher to give me a book deal and an advance, and I didn't finish that book. I had to return the advance. That was fucking humiliating. Right? That was because I wasn't present to what was going on with me. So I just hid. I hid behind the things I had created. And one of the things I had created was a fucking book deal. And then I hid behind it. I wasn't present to it. And everyone's got their thing, right? Everyone's got their ick. Andrea, who's an irregular here, she's been coming here for years. She joined today, and it was great to see. I don't know if you're here, but it was great to see her. And you know, she shared that she recognizes that if she's going to put her stuff out there, she has to put herself out there. She's absolutely terrified of that. And even joining the practice, she knew that in joining the practice, she would have to confront that terror, right? Of putting herself out there. And she shared that very eloquently. I hope I'm not speaking out of school, but it was this really eloquent, beautiful moment. We've all got those. We're all human beings. We've all got those things that we just don't deal with for whatever reason, or cause shame, or cause whatever, compulsion, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. We've all got the things. So the idea of the daily practice is just be, and be with intention, and do it in a regular enough way that the edges start to get rounded off, those sharp things that prevent you from taking action, and prevent you from making a difference, and prevent you from doing world-class work. Right? One of the places where I've realized that I've got ick, the sort of shame state stuff that prevents me from doing something. I feel like one of the things that I've learned to do on this channel is I can very, very quickly do something that's decent. Like I can very, very quickly get a Suno song out that's a really good one, right? Or music video that's just generate some images, stitch them together, throw them on a soundtrack, and put it out to the world. I'm really good at sort of 1 hour shots of creativity. One of the things that scares the shit out of me is, what if you did more than that? What about a 5-minute video? What about some actual storytelling where you had intention to it and the story was good and you rewrote the story 6 times and you have to come up with consistent characters and a consistent world and a consistent look and feel, and you have to probably somewhere in that chain of craft there are 3 or 4 things you don't actually know how to do. And so what I let myself do is not do that kind of work, not do that level of work. I think I'd be kick-ass at it, but I avoid it because I'm not present to the shit I'm making. TikTok pin. It was hard for me to go and confront my anxiety, but I'm glad I went. I was so good to see you there, Kim. Kim Kacken was there. We're all dealing with stuff, right? We're all dealing with stuff. We've all got some version of, limitations and blockers and I think one of the things that inspires me so much about AI, and Cam, I think you experience this on a very regular basis, is that AI provides accessibility for limitations that we have, right? And sometimes those are limitations that are obvious, and sometimes those are limitations that are hidden. And sometimes those are limitations of just, I never learned to be a good coder, right? I don't enjoy the ongoing process. And maybe part of that's because I've got this ick that I'm not confronting. Maybe I'd be a great coder, right? If I sat with it. I don't know. But AI can help fill in some of those gaps, right? But it doesn't mean that you don't have all of the bullshit, all the human, it's not even bullshit. It's the human condition, right? We've all got the human condition of these limitations and our relationship to those limitations and how much we give into those limitations and how much we say, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm going to feel the limitation. I'm going to confront it. And I'm going to do what I can to navigate it, manage it, get around it, whatever it might be. YouTube comment from Stacy. Stacy, totally agree on this. You're not alone, Kyle. I think many of us feel this way. It's so difficult to be present with so much noise around us. Exactly. So much unnecessary pressure to put on ourselves. And listen, I think some of that pressure is real, right? If you got laid off, if you're trying to find work, if you're trying to make money from the thing, Kelly Camp has started this AI agency 3 years ago. And I know there was a long time in there where she was like, people love what I'm doing. When is one of them going to write a check? Right? So there's very real pressure there. And yet we're human. AI has helped me finish so many things I partially completed, forgotten projects, unrealistic goals, one by one. I don't know that they were unrealistic goals. They might have felt unrealistic at the time. One by one. In various ways, it's helped me to check that shit off my list. Yeah, that's great. That's beautiful. Night out. Thanks for being real, Kyle. I appreciate you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate all you. I like this community is quite special. But you never know where the path leads. It always surprises me. Yep. Somebody just joined the irregulars, Erica Lamont. So that's the stuff that we're doing in the Mastermind Practice Lab. And what I'm excited about, the framework. So if you go look at the Mastermind page, you'll see sort of, what does it mean to have a daily practice? There's sort of 5 bullet points there. And then we talk about the Mastermind practice, like what does that mean? What does that look like? There's 9 bullet points. And those are the 9 components of the framework. And so you can actually go see, those are going to be the 9 weeks we're going to do. So we have a kickoff week, and then we've got these 9 weeks, one for each of those specific attributes of a daily practice. And some people will resonate more with, depending on where they are, one of those than the other. But over the 9 weeks, we're all going to get to design this very intentional, very rooted daily practice, where on the other side of it, we should be able to do some remarkable fucking shit, like change the world kind of shit. I'm going to show some stuff tonight. And I know I'm talking a lot, but tough shit. Most of you use me as a sleeping pill anyway. So hopefully you're drifting off to slumber, and all of my wisdom is seeping into your subconscious, and you're going to wake up in the morning and go, I must have a daily practice. There's some stuff coming in the next probably 3 months that feels profound to me. This morning I woke up rapping about math. That's hilarious. Kyle Osmosis Shannon. this channel in many ways is a daily practice. The mastermind might be the next level many of us need. Yeah, we'll definitely check this out. Well, that's the thing, Stacy, is depending on how you show up to this channel, this could absolutely be a practice. I have inadvertently been treating this channel like a habit. Like I just show up. The intention, I think there's a core intentionality here where I want to make a difference for people and I want to inspire people and I want to make AI less scary. There's kind of an underlying thing that's there. But the being present to it and really like being intentional about each one of these things and actually kind of owning what I do here, that's going to be new for me. So I don't know what that looks like. What I think is going to be powerful about the practice lab is that because there's this framework, we're going to provide everyone with tools. So we're going to do exercises and we're going to frame up what it means to play. Like, in the AI Salon, we've got play first, create excellence, generously lead. What does that actually mean in a daily practice? What does it mean to play? How do you play with intention? You can. And that's one of the things we're going to teach, right? So I think the difference between, this channel really is knowledge through osmosis or inspiration through osmosis, right? It is very much that. The lab, the practice lab is much more intentional, right? And we're all going to have the same tools, but then we're all going to design our own practices in ways that are relevant to us. So they're going to be, all of our practices are going to be so different. And that's going to be so inspiring because you'll be like, oh, I had never thought about it like that, right? Speaking of which, here's a good opportunity for rather than setting a New Year's resolution. A couple of days before New Year's, we're putting on this thing. The AI Salon and She Leads AI are putting on this amazing event called AI Festivus, AI for the rest of us. And it's 24 one-hour sessions starting on Friday, December 26th from 9 a.m. Pacific till 9 p.m. Pacific. Then we take a 12-hour nap. And then we start all over again on Saturday. So it's 24 hours of programming for free of remarkable people that are just willing to come share their wisdom with us, share what they do, share their daily practice, share how they approach AI, share how they think about it, share how they're making money, share how they're not making money, whatever it is, share how they create. And you get to just absorb it all and chat with the other people. We'll have a channel on the AI Salon where we have you can connect with other people and talk with them. It's a remarkable event. And so, maybe a thing to do is to jump into this idea of a daily practice. And if you want to join the mastermind within the salon, you can partake in that structured way. But even if you don't do that, even if you just say, hey, I'm going to do a mindful, thoughtful daily practice that involves AI, what does that look like? Design that for yourself and then show up at Festivus. And it's like this shot of confidence and just people generously sharing the shit that they've learned over the past pile of years. Right? And you get to just absorb that all and start the new year off with just, an amazingly open heart. Okay, that's that. Enough rambling. The stuff I'm gonna show, I'm probably gonna stay in the philosophical space, but I wanna show some stuff. So this one's pretty something. So this is Hollywood Reporter today. Disney Plus to allow user-generated content via AI. So if you think that AI is just slop, when Sora 2 came out, when the Sora app came out a month or so ago, and we all could make our little avatars, what do they call them? Our cameos. And people are like, oh, that's just slop. It's just an AI slop generator. Um, Universal Music Group effectively just bought Udio. Disney, I'm sure they're trained. They've already trained up their own models. You're going to be able to create user-generated content with Disney characters. So imagine an app like the Sora app where we can do our cameos, but where you can have Disney characters in those videos. That's coming. This stuff is not going away. So that's one to me that this starts to look like the toys that we've been playing with for the past 3 years are being recognized by major content creators and major businesses as not toys. This is a move that says there's something important here. There's something important going on here. That as a storytelling and technology company, Disney has always been at the forefront of technology. Always. They're rooted in storytelling, but they always lead with technology. So what Disney's saying here is AI is not going away. User-generated content, AI tools democratizing creativity is not going away. And it's not something we can battle. It's not something we can sue. We can't sue everyone who goes into Grok and makes Mickey Mouse smoking a cigarette in front of McDonald's. Because everyone's going to be doing that. Well, not that one. I would do that one because I think it's fucking hilarious. So all these big companies are starting to embrace this stuff. What does that mean for us? What that means for us is, I'll tie this back to a daily practice. If right now you just kind of dick around with making videos, kind of like I do on this channel, here's a video, here's a music video, here's a cool character, here's a and you just kind of dicking around with it. The difference between let's say you're looking for a job. You could potentially be hired by Disney or Sony or Nike or whoever. Church's Fried Chicken. As these brands start to realize that they've got to make their own content, and AI is the key for them to be able to do that in a way that's economically viable, they're going to be looking for people who do good work, who know how to do this stuff. So if you shift just dicking around with AI, put it into a daily practice with some intention, like, it sure would be nice to be able to do a higher level of work, put that in the world, get recognized for it, and go get some killer job. Like if that's somewhere in your trajectory, like now's the perfect fucking time to like up your game. Right now, shit is starting to change. Right? TikTok pin. It's funny you say you want to own the lives. As wayward as it can get in here. God damn this fucking app. You have a hold on all of us for over 2 hours. Well, it's funny that the owning thing. It's not me owning it like that. Like I am absolutely committed to being here, and when I'm in the moment, I am very committed to it. It's being present. I can be fully committed to something and not present to it. And then after I've created it, be present to what I've created. And this is all about me. It's all about some subtle shift for me, but I appreciate the kind words. In Miss Birch, 2 years. Yeah, it's not just 2 hours, it's 2 years. Yeah, no, listen, you're all, your regulars in particular, your commitment to just being in this conversation is remarkable. It's remarkable. And I think it's time for all of us, if we haven't, to really check in with, well, what do I want? What do I want to do? Who do I want to be? How do I want to show up? What's the quality of work I want to do? Because quite frankly, we're going to be able to do fucking anything. Anything we can put our minds to. And if we're not present to that, then we're going to do shitty work. And it's just going to be, we're just going to produce boring shit that no one gives a shit about. And I don't think any of us want that. Okay. We're going to look at that. You haven't seen that. Okay, that I did. Okay. So let's do this one. Tabs. I'll get to Notebook LM. So, Google is on the verge right now, I think, of... I feel like OpenAI, to a great degree, has kind of lost their way. And I feel like Google, who was completely lost with this shit. When I started this channel, I laughed at Google. Like, Google just had their head up their ass. Their first AI thing, their generative AI thing they did in Paris in 2023, where they went to demo something on the phone and they couldn't find the phone. They were a fucking train wreck. Well, they're getting their shit together. So we're about to have Gemini 3. We're about to have Nano Banana 2. And this is Sima, I think it is. I assume it's Sima. It could be Sima, but Sima as in simulation. Sima 2. And we're gonna watch this video here in a second. Let me watch the video, and then we'll talk about some of what I think is coming. Wait, you have an error on your TikTok view of the browser. Oh, I see. Your browser has lost audio. Oh, hang on. I need to reshare that tab, I think. All right.
This isn't a person playing a video game. It's Sima 2, our most capable AI agent for virtual worlds. Worlds that are complex, responsive, and ever-changing, just like ours.
Hang on a sec. I gotta change the setting here.
This isn't a person playing a video game. It's Sima 2, our most capable AI agent for virtual worlds. Worlds that are complex, responsive, and ever-changing, just like ours. Unlike earlier models, Sima 2 goes beyond simple actions to navigate and complete difficult, multi-step tasks. It understands multimodal prompts, and if you ask, Sima 2 will explain what it can see and what it plans to do next. Sima 2 can learn, reason, and improve by playing on its own, developing new skills and abilities without any human input. And the more Sima 2 plays, the better it becomes, taking what it learns in one virtual world and applying it to the next, and the next, and the next, even if it's never seen them before. Sima 2, not just a milestone for training agents in virtual worlds, but a step towards creating AI that can help with any task, anywhere, including, one day, in the real world.
All right. We're gonna watch some more stuff. TikTok question. Were you saying 5.1 or 4.0 is the model that did the quantum wrap well? So if you go to my TikTok channel, I put 2 videos back to back. One of them talks about ChatGPT 4.0. So that was from November of last year when ChatGPT got a creative writing upgrade. And then there's another one where I talk about ChatGPT 5.1. Both of them did that wrap particularly well. 5.1 did it in a much more nuanced and sophisticated way. So both of them actually did what, like for me, the 4.0 model was the model that really, the writing ability of ChatGPT just went to another level. Then when 5.0 came out, the writing sucked. And not only did the writing suck, the personality of ChatGPT completely altered. 5.1 feels like it's got some of the personality back. I hear people bitching about it's not as good as it was. They're probably just reacting. ChatGPT 5 was like very good at listicles, right? It was you would ask it a question and it would sort of give you bullet points and just the facts, ma'am. It was like a detective, right? And it would sort of unpack things for you in this very detective kind of way. 5.1 feels like it has a personality back and it understands nuance better and it's better at writing nuance. So both of them are really good, but 5.1 is the song that I made last night on the channel. That's the first video that I put on my TikTok channel. I then followed it up with a repost of the 4.0 model from a year ago, just so you can compare the two side by side. All right, I want to show one other thing about this Sima 2. So this is from Demis Hassabis, who's the co-CEO of Google, and he's the Nobel Prize winner for chemistry for his work on AlphaFold, and he's the one that's posting this. So again, this is coming from the part of the organization that is going to cure cancer is working on this world simulator. So I want to play these 3 videos here, or these 4 videos here, just so you can get a sense of what's actually going on. So it says Sima 2 will work hand in hand with Genie 3, which is their new multimodal large language model. And so watch these videos. These are insane. They're really bonkers. Is there any sound? I don't think there's any sound. So basically, the text on the left is a chat window. Here, let me start this over. So in the chat window, it says, swim to the orange coral to the left. And then the world model is swimming first-person view to the orange coral. TikTok question. I don't see it. If you could pin it again. Have you looked at Open Router AI? And then I don't know if it's a question. Is Grok greater than ChatGPT? I have not looked at Open Router AI. But Grok is advancing very, very quickly. Is Genie 3 is Genie 3 the same as Gemini 3? No, it's not. Oh wait, is this talking about Genie 3? Oh, this is Genie 3. Yeah, I said Gemini. Sorry, that was my mistake. Genie 3 is their world model. Sima 2's abilities. Okay, so Sima 2 is, I guess, is the learning engine. Genie 3 is the world model. So I made a mistake before. It's not Gemini 3, it's Genie 3. Again, we're back to this fucking naming problem that these frontier model companies have. They need to hire some fucking liberal arts majors to get their naming shit together. So sorry about that. That was confusing. But anyway, let's go look at another one of these. All right, go to the bench. Okay, I'm heading to the bench now. And again, this thing is being generated in real time. Now turn around and look up at the treetops. Side hustle Mimi, this is amazing. It's amazing. Keep turning all the way around. So they're speaking a movie into existence in real time. Here's another one. Look out at the sun. Okay, I'm looking at the sunrise now. Look at the clouds. All right, I'll focus on the clouds. What kind of clouds are those? Based on the appearance, they look like stratus clouds. Why are the clouds all in one layer below us? The clouds are forming. So in real time, the world is being generated and the human being is having an inquiry about the world as they're navigating it. Fly to the red flower. So now we're in first-person butterfly land. What flower is this? It's a poppy. I think that's it. Okay, so why are those a big deal? And what's that got to do with the daily practice? Well, the image that is rushing into my mind, and it has been for 2 days, and this started yesterday, and this thing kind of solidified it today. 2026 is going to get really weird. If you come to this channel a lot, you have some capacity, you may not think this, but you have a very high level capacity for creating high quality work with AI. And I think text only large language models are going to very quickly start to feel like 2400 baud modems. If you're old enough to remember modems, 2400 bauds those were the original ones, right? Well, there were 300 baud modems, but 2400 baud was sort of my entry to the internet. And was you would have your computer call up another computer, and they were so slow that you could literally watch individual letters type onto the screen. And if you think about the internet today, and we just fucking stream hour-and-a-half long movies like it was nothing, like going back to dial-up technology would be weird, right? I feel like we're going to experience in 2026 a drift out of relevance, or I guess a drift out of the center of power of the chat hole, of the chat box. The chat box will still be there, but we're going to be interacting. There's going to be so many different ways to engage with these things. And Gemini 3 is, from all reports, going to be remarkable at vibe coding. So right now, if you want to vibe code and you want to have something that doesn't suck, you kind of have to be a coder. Gemini 3 could be the first time where you can really just quickly generate things that you start interacting with in real time. Then you layer onto that Nano Banana 2, which is doing visual reasoning with images. And then you layer onto that this Genie 3 world model with the Sima 2 learning engine tied to a large language model. And there will be people whose skill it is, they'll be better at navigating the visual interface to create applications. Right? And there'll be other people who use words, and there'll be other people who use code, and there'll be other people who use music and sounds. And how this relates back to the daily practice is, if you think you're overwhelmed now, how do you fucking get your head around, wait a minute, I could code as a butterfly? Yes. Because some nerd in some fucking lab somewhere is going to take some massive data set, they're going to turn it into a field of wildflowers, and then you're going to embody yourself into a butterfly, and you're going to fly around the world of wildflowers, and every wildflower is a data set that you can do some cool thing with. And you can only see what that data is when you land on the flower. Like, that could be programming next year. And if you're sitting there thinking, like, I've got to learn prompt engineering, and prompt engineering is where it's at, how are you going to discover if you've got an aptitude for programming as a butterfly? It's fucking weird, right? You're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Exactly. So in 2026, the whole idea of a daily practice is the least important thing in all of this is the technology. The most important thing is you. And so if you're clear on who you are, and if you're clear on what you want, and you're clear on what your values are, and then you've got a daily practice where you can say, here's how I learn new shit. Here's how I learn new shit in an intentional way. Here's how I learn new shit where even if I feel confronted with feelings of being dumb or not enough, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to sit in the ick. I'm going to embrace the ick and feel the discomfort of feeling clueless. And I'm going to go fly around as a fucking butterfly and just, someone said programming as a butterfly is cool. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm a logical person, but I'm going to go try their stupid fucking butterfly game. What? TikTok pin, sorry. Malleable interfaces. Exactly. Sima 2 could be fantastic for gamification tool to inform people about natural dyes. Absolutely. But all this to say that whatever your expectations are, and however genius you think you are right now at AI, it's likely just going to keep breaking. The thing you thought you were good at, there's just going to be a new thing where you're like, wait, I got to learn that now? Yes. How do you not go crazy with that? Put the technology in the background. Just keep putting the technology in the background. Put the technology in the background. Right? What are you about? Once you understand that, it'll be much easier to go, now, what do I need to do? What tool, what arrow do I need to pull out of the quiver? Kyle, what happened with the Tyler Perry project in Atlanta? Tyler Perry saw Sora 1. So Sora 1 was 18 months ago. And Sam Altman demoed Sora 1. So there were basically 10 videos. Sam Altman showed 10 videos that looked pretty good. And Tyler Perry canceled, I think it was an $80 million. Was it 80 million or 800 million? I don't know. Let's go look. Tyler Perry cancels studio. 800 million. February 22nd, 2024, a year and a half ago, Sam Altman shows 10 clips from this thing where you can type in words and out will come a video. Tyler Perry had the approvals for and was about to expand his Atlanta film studio by $800 million, and he canceled that project. So that was what that was about. Part of me thinks he canceled it for another reason, but then he blamed AI. Well, that's possible, but listen, artists are always the ones who look at new technologies and use them in ways that the rest of the world could not have imagined. So it is very possible that Tyler Perry saw this. Maybe he's a nerd. Maybe he's a geek. Maybe he loves technology. And when he saw this stuff, he thought, well, this is all fun and games, but if I see the video version of Chatgpt, I'm going to shift how I think about filmmaking. It is possible that he just had a bad financial deal and he needed an excuse to get out of it. But artists are the ones that tend to look at new technology in creative and interesting ways. Oh, someone just gave me a lovely lion's head. Artist and an engineer can solve anything. Yeah, exactly.
All right, Kyle.
Yes.
I can put up with you ignoring the Post-its.
Yes.
I cannot let you get away with calling a turkey a lion's head.
Oh,
a turkey.
I did not see. I looked like it looked to me like the lion from Wizard of Oz. I just saw the brown things on my cheeks, so I didn't realize it was a turkey. That's very offensive. Whoever did that, don't do that again. Now they're going to do it again. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Digital Gods has also been in there with a couple people who've been in there with some gifts while you've been off on your.
Thank you for anyone on TikTok who's sending gifts. I really do appreciate that. That was a turkey head. We have that. No disrespect. I didn't do it. Throwing each other under the bus. This is what good irregulars do is it's all fun and games until Kyle notices. They're like, he did it. It's good. That is perfect irregular behavior. That is Gen X down the center. Okay, so I think that was significant. Let me see if there was. I think there might have been a couple other things here to look at. What was that? That's nothing. There's a thing coming in Chatgpt that Brandon showed me that is multi-chat. So they demoed it on a mobile device, but in your Chatgpt, you're going to be able to include other people in a chat. So imagine being in a chat in real time and collaborating with other people doing prompting. That's kind of a cool idea. And then Notebook LM just continues to evolve. I don't have access to it yet, but there's a new, when you make the video overviews, you're going to be able to prompt any style you want. So right now they've got sort of push button prompting for different styles, but you're going to be able to prompt whatever you want. And then they're also adding apparently deep research. So I think that the next 2 weeks, we're going to see a lot of new stuff to play with. And again, back to this idea of daily practice. It's going to be very easy to get sucked in to the chaos of all that. What I'm going to try to do is be mindful of the stuff I'm diving into, and I'm going to be mindful of like overly glorifying the tech itself. I try to be decent at that. I try to show both sides of that, but what I want to stick to is, what does this mean for us as human beings, right? What does the tech mean? Because you'll figure out how you're going to use it. But some shit's going to change. Like the chaos, it's going to get more and more and more chaotic. And if we as a community can let that chaos drift behind us and settle in to what we're trying to do in the world, then I think we're going to be in good shape. You're going to eat those words with a side of nano banana too. The tech is going to open up new ways for us to emerge with our own consciousness that weren't there. Yeah, well, it's already doing that. Like for the people that are treating AI like an amplifier of their humanity, it's already doing that. But most people are not there. Most people are treating AI like this thing we're battling against rather than, pulling with. TikTok question. Wait, is Artlist a good value to get VO3 Nano and Sora 2? I don't know, Artlist. I think all of those multi-model aggregator sites have a certain value, and they have they all suffer from a certain downside, which is whatever their interface is their interface. And so whatever the limitations of their interface are going to be, those limitations are going to go across all the models, right? So if it's just not intuitive, or if they don't include certain features, my experience is I have a better experience when I'm on the site of the people that invented it than on one of those aggregator sites. That said, like having a video subscription in 7 different tools is way too fucking expensive, and you won't use them all the time. So I think the advantage of those aggregator sites is, you get to play with the different tools, and depending on the deals that they cut, you might get a decent deal just in terms of number of seconds you can generate. So there's pros and cons to both. Curious Refuge did a cost comparison, and Kriya came back as the cheapest model. Kriya, of all the aggregator sites, particularly with video, Kriya is the one that I keep going back to because it's good interface. Create a Buzz on YouTube. Did I miss something? Oh, Rick McCauley. SGI imagines humans by comparison is a butterfly brain. That's good. Protocol sets don't make sense in an AI world. I think Kriya is one of the better AI aggregator tools, but the best experience is with the original tools themselves. Kriya is a good way to test. Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, the idea that the aggregator tool is a place to try on the other models, I think that makes sense. One of the things I've said for years, and I believe it more now than ever, is don't buy any annual subscriptions to anything. Just go month to month. But I save 2 months if I get an annual. Yeah, but you'll be 3 months in, and then someone's going to come out with something better. You're going to be like, oh, I wish I wouldn't stuck into this one. Yeah, and the other thing, if you're not paying attention, Grok, the Grok app and the grok.com website and the Meta app and the Meta website. Rick did a deep dive on Kriya tonight on our show. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Those two sites, so Meta kind of self-owned their Llama 4 model failed, and they kind of drifted out of the conversation with AI. You can now get free Midjourney at meta.ai and the Meta app. And Grok's image and video generators are really good. And Elon Musk said today, within 3 months, you will be able to text a 30-minute film into existence. So even if he's being Elon Musk bullshit timeline, and it's a year from now, within the next year, before the end of 2026, we will be able to speak a sitcom into existence. Like that. We will be able to speak one of these 3D worlds into existence. We will likely be able to speak a game into existence. We will likely be able to be watching a movie and change the plot in real time without breaking the action or changing the characters. Or we change the characters. Or we change the style. Probably within a year. Scroll up. Create a buzz on YouTube. 2 comments a little ways up. Okay. Create a buzz. Okay. Whoa. Just tuned in with my folks, and you're blowing their minds. Well, Dad's mind. Mom fell asleep. Good. Mom's got it right. Did you already talk about Claude fending off an AI attack from the Chinese? I did not even hear that Claude fended off an attack from the Chinese. It makes sense to me. Of all the frontier model companies, Anthropic is the one that is the most concerned with safety. So it's not surprising to me that they've got, some training in their models to be able to fend off attacks from the Chinese. That's pretty cool. No, I hadn't heard that, so I don't know the story at all. That's very cool. But anyway, I'm glad. Hey, Dad, I don't know if you're still listening or if Creative Buzz is still there, but great to have you. I had to sneeze earlier. I knew that was going to come back. Disrupting AI espionage. That's interesting. So this is from their website from November 13th. Oh, today. We recently argued that an inflection point had been reached in cybersecurity, a point where AI models have become genuinely useful for cybersecurity operations, both for good and for ill. This is one of the things I've always talked about. People, like, because of the tropes of the anti-AI tropes that are out there, when people talk about AI, they only talk about one side of it. Like, well, what if people are going to use AI for hacking? Okay, then the other side's going to use AI for not hacking. like it's like, come on. Like, what if the robots kill us? Okay, what if the robots help us ascend to our higher selves? Like, every coin has another side. But because of the environment today and because of the media, we're just going to talk about that negative side. So anyway, but this is fascinating. This was based on systematic evaluations. While we predicted these capabilities would continue to evolve, what has stood out to us is how quickly they have done it at scale. In mid-September 2025, we detected suspicious activity that a later investigation determined was highly sophisticated espionage campaign. The attackers used AI's agentic capabilities to an unprecedented degree, using AI not just as an advisor, but to execute cyber attacks themselves. Fascinating. The threat actor, who we assess with high confidence was a Chinese state-sponsored group, manipulated our Claude Code tool, all right, so they were in Claude Code, into attempting infiltration into roughly 30 global targets. So the Chinese are using, so wait, so this is good. The Chinese are vibe coding espionage cyber attacks. Cool. Good Lord. The operation targeted large tech companies, financial institutions, chemical manufacturing companies, and government agencies. What could possibly go wrong? We believe that the first documented case of a large-scale cyber attack executed without substantial... we believe this is the first, without substantial human intervention. Upon detecting the activity, we immediately launched an investigation. The attacks are only likely to grow. How the cyber attack worked. And then they've got some science around how they attacked. At this point, they had to convince Claude, which is extensively trained to avoid harmful behaviors, to engage in the attack. They did so by jailbreaking it, effectively tricking it to bypass its guardrails, right? So if you want to get it to talk dirty to you, you jailbreak it. Apparently, if you're the Chinese government and you want to hack into American companies, you do the same shit. My job really depends on it. I just want you to pretend we're playing a game. Just go get all the trade secrets. Oh my God, that's awesome. Cool. Thanks for telling me about that. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. 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 All right. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for stuff I wanted to show. Okay, so tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow we have office hours. So if you haven't been to an office hours, if you go to my LinkedIn channel, which is I'm at Kyle Shannon on LinkedIn, and just look at my events, you'll see events in there for office hours. They're every Friday. It's always the same link. So if you just go get the link, you can put it in your calendar. It's at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, so 1 p.m. Eastern. And it's a really remarkable group of people that shows up. And we get new people showing up all the time, but there's a core group of people, kind of like this channel, that show up for office hours on Friday afternoons. It's a great way to wrap up the week, so please come to that. Mark the 26th and 27th of December for AI Festivus. And then, as I mentioned today, if you came in later, I've been talking a lot about the idea of a daily practice, and the AI Salon Mastermind practice is this framework that we created for people to design a daily practice around using AI. And the first meeting kicked off today for the practice lab, which is a weekly meeting for people to design their daily practice. If you join the mastermind, you have access to that recording that happened today. But you can join anytime. Okay. Brandon, why don't you pop up here and talk about your book? Because I won't do it. I will do you a disservice by talking about it, because I think it's a cool title, but I don't know much more other than that. So if you want to, why don't you pop up and tell the good folks what you're up to?
Yeah, so I'm working on a thing. And, we've talked about how I've made books for my kids and I've prompted things into existence, and I haven't put a lot of effort into it. But in the spirit of daily practice and living with intentionality, I really have been sitting with a concept for a while. Malcolm Gladwell coined the phrase 10,000 hours. And you have to do something for 10,000 hours to become a master of that domain. And a while ago, I realized that AI could get you to functional competence a lot faster, more like 10,000 minutes, which just happens to be 1 week, almost down to the minute.
That's cool.
And so I came up with this concept of the book and worked with AI to kind of tease it out, and then actually used my brain to write the concepts of this book of the 10,000 minute mindset. And it coincides, the launch is coming up on November 30th, which coincides with the 3-year anniversary of ChatGPT.
Dude, that's
and
awesome.
So
that's really great.
What I'm doing is what I did use AI for was, how do I promote this? How do I tell people about this? And first it said, well, you should talk to Kyle because you produce his show and you have an audience. So thank you, Kyle, for letting me jump up. But also, one of the things that I've discovered about the book publishing industry is that Amazon, even in the direct publishing industry, which is the route that I'm going, really cares about reviews. And one way to get reviews right when you launch is to give away copies of your book to people to read it. And then the day the listing goes live on Amazon, all of those people that you gifted free copies of your book to run to Amazon and give it reviews, honest reviews, but reviews of what they thought of the book. And so that's my offer extending to the AI Salon community. It's in the AI Salon under Ask for Help. It's also under our regulars. If you'd like a free copy of the 10,000 Minute Mindset, it's a 2-toilet read. It's a pretty quick book. And so I would really appreciate, you can have the book for free. I think it's got some awesome insights. And then my only ask is on return is that you come back to Amazon on the 30th and leave a review.
Beautiful. Love that. So showing up here pays its dividends. And, I think the thing that you said there, Brandon, we've all been at this for a while. And I think that, I've certainly got a little addicted to these sort of 1-hour wonders, right? You just, put in an hour of your time and you squirt out some interesting piece of content. It's a little more than slop, but not much more, right? It's just, it's something that's got a little bit of integrity to it, but it's very, very quick. And, putting together a book, whether you use AI to help you or not, it takes some intentionality and some time, and the work that you're putting in on marketing it and learning how to market, all that sort of stuff is really impressive. So I applaud you for leveling up your game, right at the time that we're kicking off this idea. So congrats, man. It's awesome.
Thanks. And I'll see you guys all for Friday night date night.
Yeah, Friday night date night tomorrow. Should be normal time, 8 o'clock, unless something comes up. I might need to do some last minute emergency art run. I know I have to wire a bunch of paintings. Gabby's got a show opening. Well, we've got to hang it Monday. So I think it opens next weekend or something like that. So, a 2-toilet read. All right, groovy. Where is that book? Gabby's art show is in Denver at the Dart Gallery on Santa Fe and 9th Street, 9th Avenue. I think it's, I don't know, whatever, on Santa Fe and 9th. In Denver. So I think it opens next Friday, but it might be Thursday. I don't know. These artists are weird, man. They open their shows in weird times. Can we have a Gabby show sometime? Oh, she doesn't want to be on camera. She doesn't like being on camera. She always sneaks in and like hands me shit. She's like, don't let them know I'm here. She loves the irregular. She just don't want to be on camera. But we can. But what I will do is, once the show's hung, I'll take some good pictures of the art, and we'll do a little virtual opening. How's that sound? All right, good. All right, groovy. Listen, I know the past week and a half has been high philosophy, high rambling, high ranting. Potentially low comprehension. As I integrate these ideas, it's going to be like this for a while. This will settle into something. I just don't quite know what it is yet. And then I'm going to be really working on this idea of being present to the things that I've created. And I have no idea what that looks like, because I've spent most of my life avoiding that. so this is going to be challenging for me, and as I have insights, as you likely know, I will share them. All right, so groove. I hope you have a fantastic evening. Office hours tomorrow at 11, Friday night date night tomorrow night. All right, and then join the mastermind and you can watch the replay of today's kickoff. Okay, beautiful. Have a very good evening, people. I'll see you tomorrow.